Hello, this is the 41st issue of Catch of the Day, available on the Branch Talk YouTube channel. Today we're going to continue reading from Trent Wildy's book, A Change in the Priesthood, A Change in the Law. And we're going to start at the midsection of page 10. Here, the author of Hebrews provides an account of Melchizedek, who was said to be priest of the Most High God, even though he was not descended from Abraham, and therefore not of Levi or Aaron either. The record given in Genesis portrays Melchizedek as even greater than Abraham, for he blessed him, and Abraham paid tithe to him. Levi also, being in the line of Abraham, was considered to be subordinate to Melchizedek. In fact, the author of Hebrews takes it a step further and says that when people paid tithe to the Levites, they paid to mortal men. But when Abraham paid tithes to Melchizedek, he paid to him who is affirmed to be alive. So if perfection had in fact been possible through the Levitical priesthood, for on that basis the people received the law, what further need would there have been for another priest to arise, said to be after the order of Melchizedek, and not in Aaron's order? For when the priesthood changes, a change in the law must necessarily come as well. Yet the one these things are spoken about belongs to a different tribe. No one from that tribe has ever officiated at the altar. For it is clear that our Lord is descended from Judah, yet Moses said nothing about priests in connection with that tribe. And this is even clearer if another priest arises in the likeness of Melchizedek, who has become a priest not by a legal regulation about physical descendant, but by the power of an indestructible life. For here is the testimony about him: you are a priest forever, after the order of Melchizedek. Psalms 110 verse 4, Hebrews 7 verse 11 to 17. Footnote at the bottom of page 10, footnote 11, says, evidently, the author of Hebrews based his understanding of Melchizedek off of something else in addition to Genesis. For Genesis does not indicate that Melchizedek is affirmed to be alive, or that he is a sort of being which is to be juxtaposed with mortal men. There are, however, other texts which paint this sort of picture of Melchizedek, such as 11Q13, Melchizedek, among the Dead Sea Scrolls. Page number 11. Again, Psalms 110 is quoted in order to demonstrate that it had in fact been prophesied that there would arise another priest after a different order from that of Aaron. The Aaronic priests became such because of a legal regulation about physical descendant. But this priest who would come after the order of Melchizedek would gain his priesthood by the power of an indestructible life, as indicated by the fact that he was to be a priest forever. Psalms 110 verse 4. Notice as well that Hebrews says that the one these things are spoken about belongs to a different tribe. Verse 13. Yes, it is true that retrospectively one can see that Jesus came from Judah, as our author also points out in the following verse. But that isn't enough to convince a non-believer that the words of Psalms 110 were spoken about one of another tribe. And here in verse 13, Hebrews isn't simply speaking retrospectively, but is rather commenting on Psalms 110 itself, which indicates that the author of Hebrews believed that the psalm in some way intimates that the one therein sworn into priesthood was from another tribe. Well, is this so? Actually, this is quite clear, for Psalms 110 tells us that this one will rule from Zion, verse 2, which is the place from which the kings of Judah ruled. Likewise, he will rule with a scepter and gain victories over his enemies. This language is similar to Jacob's blessing of Judah found in Genesis 49, 8-10. Additionally, Melchizedek was not only a priest, but also a king, the king of Salem, Jerusalem. This demonstrates that Psalms 110 itself pictures the one who is sworn into the Melchizedekan priesthood as being a kingly Judahite figure. The coming about of this other priesthood was also spoken of in another text known as the Testament of Levi. To wit, "From Judah a king will arise, and shall found a new priesthood to all the Gentiles." The Testament of Levi 8:14. The priesthood will lapse, and then the Lord will raise up a new priest, and there shall be no successor for him from generation to generation forever. Page number 12. And in his priesthood the nations shall be multiplied in knowledge on the earth, and they shall be eliminated by the grace of the Lord, but Israel shall be diminished by her ignorance, and darkened by her grief. In his priesthood sin shall cease, and lawless men shall rest from their evil deeds, and righteous men shall find rest in him, and he shall open the gates of paradise. He shall remove the sword that has threatened since Adam, and he will grant to the saints to eat of the tree of life. The Testament of Levi 18, verse 1-2 and 8-11. Check that out. Take care.